So just as we look at the KZ2 drivers on the dummy grid, just a couple of little snippets to pick up. Susan Woodward saying well done to Ethan Woodward on the live chat. And a few others there. There's Miles Murphy in the Demon Tweaks overalls, the red Demon Tweaks overalls with his arm folded there. Now Miles, he designs the crash helmets for many professional drivers, both in the UK, in abroad, and in the United States. On the Formula 1 grid, he's got Sergio Perez, Alex Albon, George Russell, and Lando Norris. He designs their crash helmets. Of course, nowadays, Formula 1 drivers, they change their crash helmet designs almost every race, which is good news for Miles' bank balance, ladies and gentlemen. Probably keeps him in racing. Here's Morgan Porter getting his crash helmet on in the white, orange and black Kart Republic race suit. Morgan will be starting in the centre of row 1 for this next race. Now, this is the penultimate round of the championship for the KZ2s. And unlike the X30 classes, KZ2 have been to Rissington before in the British Championship. Back in 2019, the very first round of the new era of Motorsport UK British Championship, Fabian Federer won both finals for the SRP race team. Adam Gleer, that year's eventual champion, was second in both finals. Scott Allen and Tom Longfield finished third in those two finals. We didn't race here in 2020 or 2021 due to COVID, so this is the KZ2's first time back here since 2019. Now, the season so far, James Glenister won the opening round from Dan Kelly and Charlie Turner at Shenington. At Warden Law in the wet, Charlie Turner won on slick tyres, by the way, ahead of Tom Adams and Sam Ward, the only three drivers to go out on slicks. Then at Glenagorse, Rhys Ujijima won on his British Championship debut for the Pierce Exton racing team, ahead of Morgan Porter and Charlie Turner. Interesting fact, Jack Doohan, who won yesterday's GP2 race, and Rhys Ujijima, who was on the podium in Formula 3 this weekend, both used Glenagorse last round 2 weeks ago as a bit of a warm-up event, and it certainly paid off in droves for them. There is a look at the number 8 kart of Lee Ward, who is the Synergy kart. Just there is the Energy Course Collective with Lewis Halliday and Joe Charlton. Further up, there's Shane Daly. There's Ginger Spice, the mechanic for the Dan Kelly racing team.
Oh, good, yeah.
There's Bradley Barrett, looking at the Sodi kart overalls on. The Sodi Vitesse driver came into this weekend second in points. Morgan Porter. Now, in the championship. Now, last weekend, Morgan Porter won here at Rissington in the warm-up event. He beat Charlie Turner, Dan Gould, Shane Daly and Miles Murphy, which are top 5 last weekend. Coming into the championship, coming into this round of the championship standings, Charlie Turner did have the lead by 26 points over Bradley Barrett. 2 points behind Barrett is Tom Adams. 3 points further back is Dan Kelly. 2 points behind Kelly is Joe Charlton. Then Shane Daly, Morgan Porter and James Glenister, with Miles Murphy also in contention. So in fact, the top 9 in the championship separated by 45 points. And now drivers will be starting to think about dropped scores. There are 10 point scoring opportunities, intermediate classifications and finals. You count your best 10 out of 12 scores. So you drop your 2 worst scores. And that could be from any round. It doesn't have to be from the same round, any round. Let's have a look at the starting lineup, shall we? Pole position, James Glenister, Morgan Porter and Charlie Cole. It's a three wide front row of the grid. On row number 2, wide row, is Bradley Barrett and Spencer Shinner. Then we go back to row number 3, Anthony.
We do indeed, yeah. Miles Murphy, Hannah Lang and Tom Adams will take row 3. Charlie Turner and Dan Kelly take row number 4.
Row 5, the E-plate holder, Dan Gould, who'll be starting alongside Shane Daly and Caden McQueen. And on 6th row of the grid, Joe Charlton and Derek Morgan.
Final 2 rows then, Lewis Halliday, Ashley Lewis and Lee Ward take row 7. Sam Ward starts at the back of the grid for the MK Racing Team, the number 67 on row 8. What can he do from there? As we're about to find out, 2-stroke, 6-speed gearbox madness is about to start whizzing around the Fullerton Circuit. Fullerton Circuit? It's the Rissington Circuit.
And
oh, it's been a long day.
The KZ2s, they don't use the dog leg.
Nope.
At the end of the back straight, these KZ karts are topping 100 miles an hour, ladies and gentlemen. That is enough to get your attention, no matter what you drive. So, 15 minutes plus 1 lap around, and it's a very quick lap. So we're going to be seeing about 25, 26 laps, I think. It's going to be a long race, a real test of endurance. You're going very quickly. We'll have 2 rolling laps to get the karts, you know, to get the engines fully up to temperature. And then we'll go racing. I would say this championship, anyone of 9 coming into this weekend still had a chance at the championship. With Charlie Turner retiring from the second heat and only finishing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, only finishing 9th in the intermediate standings. That gives, and again, he finishes 9th, so Dan Kelly, Miles Murphy, Tom Adams, Bradley Barrett, James Glenister, Morgan Porter, all 6 of his title rivals gained points on him in the heats. And now Turner has got a lot of work to do to try and get past the traffic and prevent some of those rivals outscoring him again in this next race.
Oh, the noise that these karts are making as they do their test starts before getting onto the dummy grid. Or onto the grid itself, I should say. Absolutely fantastic there at the back. Sam Ward, he's had a tough old weekend, has Sam, and a lot of work ahead of him in this one. Karts line themselves up. Spectators at the ready.
Oh, yes. Commentators at the ready.
Oh, yes.
Drivers at the ready. Nah, no, they're not, because some of them haven't gone into the correct grid position.
There we go.
Right, we'll start again.
There's no flag up at the back.
We'll do it again. Derek Morgan's in the wrong place. Del Boy.
Oh,
right.
Everyone's in the wrong place.
Now Lewis Halliday's in the wrong place. And talk amongst yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
Does it get to a point where they might say, should we go around again? Oh, no, we've got a hand up at the back.
Now we're at the ready. Now we can say drivers at the ready. Watch, top right, Lewis Halliday's all askew. That's not going to be good for Lewis Halliday.
It's a false start. It's a false start. They're going to go round again. Yellow light flashing at the back.
On the left-hand side of your screen, go round again.
Lewis Halliday is at 90-degree angle pointing into the grass, so I don't think he'd have the optimal start.
Yes, this is not a senior pro kart race. These KZ2 karts are not automatically attracted towards the nearest bit of grass like a pro kart. Have to say, it's lovely being in the countryside, isn't it, Anthony? But not if you suffer from hay fever.
Yes. What have you got?
No.
Suffering from hay fever?
I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying it's not. It's lovely being in the countryside. Now, second time of asking. Down the back straight we go. Let's have a little look.
So, everyone just getting themselves ready, just trying to keep everything warm, keeping the temperatures up. Tyre temperatures are the crucial one, aren't they? Because if the tyre temperatures just drop off,
you go into
you will spin off the line.
These cars 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Comparable to GP2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're going to need tyre temp. And they're so small little tyres that they can lose temp so quickly. Pulling off the track there. Who was that? I think. No, he wasn't. He was just taking a wide line.
Well, so far today, the star of the show has been Charlie Cole in the number 66 Jade Racing Team entry. Absolutely superb performance, even though James Glenister has won both heat races. Now we can say, better. Spectators are ready, the driver's ready, the commentators are ready, the lady with the flag is ready. Look to the left, 1 red light, 2, 3, 4, red lights out. We're off and racing. It's a good start from the centre of the front row for Morgan Porter, who grabs the lead, and Charlie Cole goes into second place. Through turn 2 now, all 19 drivers safely to the first couple of corners. Oh, Dan Gould, the E-plate holder, getting shuffled back a little bit. Bradley Barrett's at the 4th place, but it is Morgan Porter and Charlie Cole running 1-2. James Glenister back to 3rd place in kart number 22, plunging down the back straight into bottom bend. Now uphill through middle bend into the elbow. Good first lap from our KZ2 drivers. And
no.
Championship leader Charlie Turner out of the race. Oh, you can see the desolation. And he's got a wheel that's come off. And it's taken something out. And there goes Sam Ward for a spin.
Weekend gets even worse.
Yep, and
for Sam Ward.
That is game over. But look at that. That is Charlie Turner. A wheel has come off. And the championship leader is out of the race. This has opened things up exponentially. And now everybody else, the top 9 in the point standings coming into this weekend, is thinking, do you know what? It's game on. It's absolutely game on, because they will come past Charlie Turner's kart, which is parked at the side of the circuit, on the outside of the circuit corner here. There, they'll see it. They'll see it, and they'll know he's out. They'll all be looking at his kart, glancing over now. It's just off the left-hand side of the screen there. So this is game on. Turner will stay on 423 points. Oh, there's Sam Ward. He got the kart restarted, but now it's stopped again.
And his NAS panel's loose at the front as well, so he'll have to bring that in, because at the speeds that these karts go, that will just go whoop, straight up in the air.
That is less than ideal.
Yeah.
So, including dropped scores, Charlie Turner maintains the championship lead with 423 points. Morgan Porter moves up to second on 408 points. Bradley Barrett third, 407. Tom Adams has got 404. James Glenister 401. Dan Kelly 400. The vultures are circling the carcass of Charlie Turner's broken go-karts.
They are indeed. Well, there again, Morgan Porter comfortably holding on to that lead. I say comfortably. Charlie Cole, what a performance from Charlie Cole.
Superb.
We've not seen Charlie really up at the sharp end before this year.
He comes into this event 12th in the points table. This is his first year as a gearbox driver. He's one of the youngest in the field, and he is challenging 2020 British Senior Rotax champion Morgan Porter, who absolutely took it to Rhys Ujijima, Formula 3 driver, at the last round. And, Cole looks good, but he's the Jade Racing team. Now, Jade Racing team run by the Allen family. And if there is 2 people that know how to get around here in a gearbox kart, it is Scott and Ross Allen.
Oh, yeah, definitely so. Do you reckon Charlie Cole's like, a secret professional around this circuit?
I reckon anyone who drives the Jade Racing team here at Rissington has had they've had the training, and he's just taken the race lead, Anthony.
Well, there we go.
My goodness gracious me. Charlie Cole throwing the cat amongst the pigeons here in KZ2. What an absolute turn for the books.
This is some fabulous stuff then from Charlie Cole. Great weekend so far, and lining up to potentially take a final win here. Has Charlie Cole won a final?
No,
in the British Kart Championship?
He's not been on the podium.
He's not been on the
podium.
podium.
This is his first season in the British Championship. So I'm having a look. Well, I look back at the results this year. In the final, where did Charlie Cole finish the final? Bear with me. So he's had a 53 points. That is
live maths.
10th. 10th is his best finish. He's had a 10th, he's had an 11th, and he's had a 13th in the 3 finals so far.
Right.
Well, the only person that can stop Charlie Cole from having a best weekend in his career so far is now Charlie Cole.
Yeah.
Because, he's got the pace to finish at the front. Whether he does, because he's now got James Glenister closing in on Morgan Porter behind him.
I was going to say, with the fastest lap as well, James Glenister, who's now going for the overtake here on Morgan Porter.
Mirror signal manoeuvre done, 100 miles an hour.
No worries.
On the brakes, down a couple of gears, into P2. Well,
Glenister's got some waft here.
He has got major waft. And of course, what Morgan Porter got to do, I was going to say, Morgan Porter's got major something else.
Yeah.
if he tries a move going into that corner, but quite sensibly backed out of it. Spencer Shinner is up into 4th place in the number 55 kart, followed by Bradley Barrett. Hannah Lang's up to 6th. Tom Adams is 7th. Dan Kelly 8th. Shane Daly 9th. Caden McQueen is 10th, and it's Joe Charlton, Miles Murphy, Ashley Lewis, Derek Morgan, Dan Gould, Lewis Halliday, and Lee Ward. 17 drivers still running. Of course, the only thing that Charlie Turner has got going for him now is the fact that the grid is so competitive and large. All his rivals are taking points off each other. Glenister is now up to 3rd in the championship, 404 points. So even now, Bradley Barrett, with Morgan Porter dropping from second to third, that puts Barrett back into second in the point standings, Glenister to third, Porter's down to fifth.
This is definitely an interesting development that we're seeing here. Definitely not the sort of drivers we'd see around this sort of...
Well, I mean, Charlie Cole is, yeah.
Certainly changing things up again, but I like it. It's good.
Variety. It's a spice of life.
It is indeed. It is indeed. There you go. Well, Charlie Cole, fantastic job so far, but Glennis has closed in. He's closed in by quite some way now. Absolutely line astern. I reckon we could see Glenister go for the move in the next lap or so, because he's not going to stick behind. He wants to get in front and drive off. Really,
and already, James Glenister, in terms of wins and podiums in the KZ2 class, Glenister 4 wins, 2 second places, 2 third places in this class. I mean, Rush Performance. So, Rush Performance and Andy Fearless Racing are now tied with 5 wins in the KZ2 class apiece. Andy Fearless Racing, well, Dan Kelly's in 8th place. I don't think he's going to add to there is number 29 kart. I don't think he is going to add to their win tally. So James, a win here for James Glenister would put Rush Performance atop the all-time KZ2 victory list in the modern era of the British Championship. A 5th win, personally, will put Glenister into a tie with the likes of Henry Ayres, Kian Berta, Clayton Ravenscroft, Vinnie Phillips, Dan Ginchard, Ethan Jeff Hall, Guy Cunnington, Harry Burgoyne Jr., Bishop's now got 6, but I mean, that could be very significant for Glenister.
Looking down at these grids, and we say it's nice to see drivers up in good positions, and Hannah Lang is also another one of these drivers for the MK Racing team, currently P6. And has not had the best of luck this year with mechanical breakdowns and all sorts, but
she's a very experienced, very quick driver.
Yeah.
And that MK Racing team, they had a podium. And that was Tom Adams. Tom!
Right on the edge of the track there, and looking at that rear bumper, looking a bit low on one side. Would you not agree?
It is looking a little bit low, but has it been just dislodged ever so slightly by that?
I think it's just dislodged.
It's, well... Adams there, another inch to the left, and Adams would be in serious trouble at that
pirouetting.
point. Yeah, so Glenister leads now. James Glenister leads Charlie Cole. So this is now experience versus youth. We talk about the old guard in KZ2 and the new breed of KZ2 driver. Glenister, the old guard. Charlie Cole, Morgan Porter, the new breed. In the championship, Glenister now 2nd in the championship, and the gap. I wonder, could we have the championship positions on our screens? I wonder.
I do believe we could do such a thing.
Can we? Maybe not. But anyway, Charlie Turner 423 points, James Glenister up to 407. This is including dropped scores, by the way.
Yes, indeed. So there it is.
But look at, I mean, so Joe Charlton and Miles Murphy, they've not had a good weekend. They've probably raced their way out of contention. But anyone in the top 6 can still do this.
Definitely so. I mean, it's very, very close, isn't it? When when we're talking about 60 points that are up for grabs, 65 for a win, you know, when you see there's 20 in
there's
between.
There's 130 points available in each round. 130 points available. And, I mean, finishing 19th, well, that gets you about 30-odd points. So you could gain 60, 70 points in a race weekend. You know, so drop scores will come into play. But Glenister, really, coming into this weekend, James Glenister was only 8th in points. Just goes to show, having a good weekend at the right time is critical. And Glenister is having a good weekend at the right time, and it's not, and it's being helped in no small part by Charlie Turner having, and the technical term in this, he's having a mare.
He is, he is having a mare, isn't he? He was very confident going into this weekend, you know, saying, hey, it's just another weekend for me, no dramas whatsoever. And coming into this one, it's ended in drama, really, hasn't it? And especially penultimate round. Well, I mean, we talk about how important it could have been.
Most importantly, Charlie Turner is absolutely fine. because obviously a wheel came off the kart, bringing potentially some of the rear axle, or was it the front axle? Anytime a wheel parts company in one of these KZ2 karts, there's no such thing as a slow accident when that happens.
No, definitely not.
Oh dear. Dan Kelly, 2018 British champion. His 2022 title tilt, I think, has just ground to a halt at the elbow. He gets it back in gear and going again. That drops him back to 17th and last of the 17 drivers still running.
Well, there we go. That's not what you want, is it? It's all the mechanical gremlins are really showing now, aren't they? They've had a full day, full weekend of racing. It always happens in the final, doesn't it?
You say mechanical gremlins, Anthony. A kart was facing backwards. I think that might have been a spin-related gremlin.
It could have been a spin.
A sudden lack of adhesion.
Sudden lack of adhesion, or
resulting in a brief rotation. Before traction was regained and racing could continue.
That's a solid way of putting it. 3.5 minutes to go, plus that one lap. There's your race leader, James Glenister, currently 0.6 of a second leading ahead of Charlie Cole for the Jade Racing team. Is Morgan Porter starting to close in? Gap 1.7 seconds that time around. 1.8? No is the answer. No, he's slowly falling away.
Charlie Cole continues to belie his lack of experience at this level by putting on an absolutely... I mean, Glenister has got away from him a little bit. Understandable. But Cole has not let his head get the better of him, which is key. And you see Glenister there fighting a bit of understeer going into bottom bend. Comes out a 5-second penalty for Dan Kelly. Obviously, the judges were not appreciative of his style points for that spin. It may have been a self-inflicted spin.
Maybe it involved another driver as well. Because Lewis
Halliday has just retired from the race. I wonder. And Lee Ward has dropped back. Now, they were all in around about the same position. Well, we didn't catch it on our cameras, but here's a battle going on. Here's the battle between the number 17 kart of Tom Adams running in 7th place, with Shane Daly in 8th, Miles Murphy 9th, Joe Charlton 10th, Ashley Lewis 11th, and Dan Gould in 12th. So there's Adams in the 17, then there's the O-plate of Daly running a little bit wide at bottom bend there. The 37, more racing kart of Miles Murphy. Miles makes his move, and Murphy's Law up into 8th position. Daly back to 9th. Charlton runs in 10th in the number 3 plate kart. And then it is Lewis and Gould at the back of this group. They're all trained. I mean, Spencer Shinner, fantastic performance so far from Spencer Shinner. 4th place, his best result of the season so far. Bradley Barrett quietly going about his business in 5th position. He's one of those but he's being caught by Hannah Lang. So Hannah Lang in the number 91 MK Racing kart is closing in on championship runner-up at the moment, Bradley Barrett. Oh, he's dropped the 3rd in the championship. So just in front of this group, we'll see at the court. There's the Spencer Shinner, Bradley Barrett and Hannah Lang, that trio going around top bend.
Yes, indeed. And this is good stuff from KZ2, but again, it's just showing how quick they can get around this circuit. I mean, the lap time's 34.1 from James Glenister when he crossed the line. That is an outrageously fast lap time as Dan Gould just sends one down the inside of Ashley Lewis. The E-plate passes.
There was a shot. We've got 50 seconds to go. Glenister just hammering home his advantage. Now we're looking, there's Joe Charlton. So Charlton has picked up a couple of places. He's up into 9th place now. So Daly has dropped back 10th, the British Open champion. But in front of this group, you can see them just going into bottom bend there. That trio, Shinner, Barrett and Lang, they're fighting over 4th place. There they go into the elbow. Miles Murphy in the number 37 kart, he's got a bit of a late burst of pace as he is challenging Tom Adams for 7th position. As we're on lap 26 now with 13 seconds to go. So, I mean, this is a real test of endurance. Okay, it's only 15 minutes. The race isn't longer, but it's just more laps than usual, which makes it a real test of endurance.
Time has struck 0 then, and the last lap board will be out this time to your current race leader, James Glenister, who crosses the line now. And this will be his final lap before he sees that checkered flag. And, well, what a weekend it's been for James Glenister. You know, he started his race weekend today, you know, and it was in doubt. There was a shadow over it because of the smoke out of the back of the car.
Yes.
But all is well, and
all
the car goes. There was speculation of, was it water? Was it was it going to seize up? Was it going to be an expensive end to the weekend before it even started? But we see here now that it's not going to be an expensive end. It's going to be a victorious end for James Glenister as he crosses the line to take the final win in KZ2 here for the Wera Tours British Kart Championships from Charlie Cole. Morgan Porter will take third place, and the rest of the field come through now. Great results from the rest of the field. I'm going to stop talking. Henry, take over, because I've got to go for a bit of a walk down the paddock now.
So, I mean, I've got to say, first ever British podium for Charlie Cole. James Glenister wins, and now we'll go into the final round of the championship at Kimbolton in September. Second, and a tie with Bradley Barrett for second in the point standings, and they are 16 points behind Charlie Turner. And ladies and gentlemen, 20 points separates the top 5 in the championship. Turner, Glenister, Barrett, Porter and Tom Adams, with Dan Kelly 6th, another 10 points further back. 30 points separate the top 6. The KZ2 Championship finale at Kimbolton in September is going to be very special indeed. We said that this year was going to be special in KZ2, and it is turning out to be just that indeed. Great drive from Spencer Shinner to finish 4th. Great drive from Hannah Lang to finish. There is a look, and the Rush Performance Mechanic looking at it is the right front of Charlie Turner's kart. Turner is just behind the barrier there, speaking to Chris Adams, Tom Adams, his dad. Now, Charlie Turner, I have to say, he's lucky, because that is coming around top bend, which is quite a quick corner. Charlie Turner's lucky it was a front wheel, not a rear wheel. But great drive from Spencer Shinner to finish 4th. Superb drive, best yet of the season for Hannah Lang, finishing 6th position and chasing Bradley Barrett and Spencer Shinner home. Murphy finishes in 7th, 8th for Tom Adams. Daly is 9th, Gould 10th, Derek Morgan 11th, Ashley Lewis 12th, Joe Charlton 13th, Caden McQueen 14th, Lee Ward and Dan Kelly, the last 2 finishers. Lewis Halliday, Sam Ward and Charlie Turner failed to finish. There's Charlie Turner in the baseball cap on the other side of the barrier, walking back, his mechanic pushing his 3-wheeled wagon, and 3 wheels do not a happy go-kart make. But Charlie Turner still leads the championship, but a safe lead has turned into a very precarious one after 4 of the 5 rounds of this year's Wera Tours British Kart Championship. Any one of 6 can still win it at Kimbolton. We've got a lot of racing between now and then. The next time the British Championship is going to be in action, we're going to be back to Warden Law for the road tax rounds in a couple of weeks' time. But Anthony Jordan is making his way down to the paddock. We've got 2 finals to go. The 2 TKM finals are coming up next on this fantastic weekend, not just for karting, but for British motorsport as a whole. And Anthony is with 5-time British Championship winner in KZ2, James Glenister, now.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, down in the winner's circle, and our race winner from KZ2, James Glenister. Well done. Congratulations. Nice result here at Rissington, and the sun is shining on us here for that victory.
No, it's God. It was hard work. 66. He was pushing me, and just to catch him and overtake him was a bit of a push. So I overcooked the tyres, catching up to him. And there's a few laps I thought he might get me back, where I cooked the tyres, so I backed off a bit, and then just gradually brought the pace back down up to a decent pace to hopefully be able to pull away. But yeah, what a difference from Glenister to here.
Yeah, what a difference. But what a very different circuit to Glenister as well.
Definitely.
Borderline flat here, no undulations, and a cracking result. And I have to say, just from yourself, championships looking a bit nicer now. You push yourself up into second in the points with drop scores.
Stop looking at the championship.
Really?
Yeah.
It's still close.
No, I haven't looked at it. There's so many drop rounds, it's a bit hard to work out.
Yeah, it is a bit tricky to work out,
I
but
used up all my dropped rounds literally straight away. One at Shenny and then wherever we were after that, and then at Glenister was just, one to say.
Well, we go into the final round. Are we feeling confident still?
Yeah, no, chassis. We tried a different setup this weekend. It seems to suit me a bit better. So yeah.
Anyone you'd like to thank?
Brian Rush, Rush Performance, and Mike from SLP in Germany for the engines. Yep.
Brilliant stuff. Well done, James Glenister, race winner.
Great, thanks for that.
Perfect. Let's chat to our second place man. Well, Charlie Cole, welcome to the top 3. How does that feel?
Feels amazing, to be honest. Like, never been on a British Kart Championship podium, so it's brilliant.
It's nice. First time chatting to you here, so hopefully your interview skills are up to scratch. But tell us on that one. I mean, that looked like a challenge for you. You know, you were leading for that one, wasn't it?
Well, I was leading for the first half, then the pace started to drop off a bit, but towards the end, it started to come back again. Don't know why, but my neck was absolutely killing me, to be honest.
Well, now, is your neck killing? Well, because you've done plenty of races here and around this length. Obviously, a lot of laps here because it's a quick lap. That may not have helped with that one. But you got to think, do you think that's the stresses going through? Do you think you were tensing up there?
So 100%, but it's also looking at the back of James Glenister's kart the whole race, to be honest. It starts to get a bit boring after a while.
Yeah, you wanted to get in front again?
Yeah, of course. You always do.
Always do. Oh, well, I mean, the first podium is always the best. The second one, is it going to be a first?
Oh, I hope so, to be honest.
Let's aim for it. Anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank my sponsors, one being Baobab Calf and Milio Sport. I'd like to thank my dad and the team, Jade Racing.
Well, perfect stuff. Charlie Cole, congratulations. Welcome to the podium.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Let's chat to our third place man, Morgan Porter. Morgan, we speak to you a lot in this championship and, you know, another podium for you. How do we find Rissington, though, this weekend? Because it looked tough out there.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a very fast-flowing track. I think it's also very sort of power-related. Down the straight, I found it very hard. Sort of looking behind me and there's somebody already alongside me, so I find that difficult. But I think we made the best out of the situation, the team. And yeah, I'm happy with third place. Big well done to Charlie. I think he drove really, really well and definitely struggled to hang on to him.
So, he's got some weft he has now, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, props to him though. He did drive really, really well. Did struggle to hang on to him. I pushed hard in the middle of the race just to try and create that gap from 4th position and then settled in because I knew to catch Charlie, it would push the tyre a bit too much.
A very mature driver, obviously, to just maintain the pace and everything like that. But, you know, it's very easy to overheat these tyres. It's easy to push too hard and, you know, mistakes come in and mistakes, we saw them out in that race as well. So, you know, the fact that you can still come away with a third is still a good result. You can be happy with that one. Points still looking okay. You know, you're still within that top group as we go into the final round as well. Are we feeling confident?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good for Kimbolton. I think on drops it's going to work out quite well for me at the minute. I had a hard round at Shenington being new to the class, but ever since then it's been going really, really strong and I'm happy with that. So yeah, no, I'm happy.
Good stuff. Anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd just like to thank Tom at Moore Racing and Sam as well, my dad for mechanicking me, and mainly the people at Kart Republic as well. I think it's a great chassis and I think it proved that as well today and in previous races.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Well done, Morgan Porter, third place.
Thank you.
Excellent stuff there from our KZ2 drivers. 2 more races to go and it's all time for TKM.
Yes, indeed, Anthony. And cloudy and blustery, but generally bright skies here. There's a bit of blue poking out between the clouds. So it's a fine summer's afternoon here. There's spectators are still lolling about on the banks in their shorts and T-shirts and other summer clothing. KZ2 will be up next. This is the penultimate round of the championship for KZ2, but by our calculations there are still 6 drivers who go into the last round at Kimbolton within 30 points of the championship lead. There are 5 drivers within 20 points of the championship lead, so really it could be any one of 5 or 6 drivers that emerge champion of the fastest class in British short circuit racing. But today, finishing third, a return trip to the podium for Morgan Porter. That's 2 podiums in 4 starts for Morgan. Don't know why my voice went squeaky there. There we go. Now, again, it's always good, like with Sam Heading, to welcome a brand new face to the British Championship podium. But this is a new face, not just the podium, but the British Championship in general. In his first season, one of the youngest drivers in KZ2. For the Jade Racing Birrell Art team, it's Charlie Cole. Well done, Charlie. But if In second and third places this weekend, we've got the new generation of KZ2 drivers. The winner is certainly one of the old school. He's now got 5 wins to his name in KZ2, along with his winning mechanic Connor Chapman. For Rush Performance, it's James Glenister. Notice I said old school, not old man. There we go, old school. Congratulations, your KZ2 podium, ladies and gentlemen. Well done.